Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. If you're looking for jewelry that makes an impact on your self-care routine and your style, Empowerography would love to offer you a discount code to one of our exclusive partners, Quartz & Canary Jewelry and Wellness Company. Please use code EMPOWER15 to receive 15% off upon checkout at www.quartzandcanary.com. Quartz & Canary is truly the place where spirituality meets style. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Molly Dare Hillenbrand. She is the founder and CEO of Hillenbrand Media, based in sunny Florida. How you doing today, Molly?
Hi, Brad. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for agreeing to be part of the Empowerography community and for being a guest here today and agreeing to share a bit about your story and your journey and all of that amazing stuff that you're doing out there. So I appreciate that.
Oh, well, I'm happy to. And I appreciate you and everything that you're doing to support women and all that they're doing.
Thank you very much. I love what I do, and I love being able to share the amazing stories of the amazing women like yourself. So it's my pleasure. So Molly, as I mentioned, you are the founder and CEO of Hillenbrand Media. When did you found and start the company?
Hillenbrand Media started back in 2017, and it's kind of morphed into what it is now, over the past 4 years. It started out as a smaller business to help, my friends really at first who were starting their own businesses and teaching them all about social media and how to use it to market their companies, how to get more exposure, get people to follow them, all of that. And then over the years, as I learned more about production and being in front of the camera and editing and all that fun stuff, I realized that a lot of value was in video content and creating kind of 3 to 4 minute social media teasers that promote people, what they do, their product, their restaurant, them, whatever their passion is. I would meet them and film them and create it into a kind of a 4-minute small bite segment that they could use for their own purposes, and that I would share across all of my social media channels as well.
Okay. So was the inspiration then at first just helping your friends? Was that the inspiration for starting the company for you?
It was, it was an organic, which is usually when it works, right? When it just organically happens. Before I started Hillenbrand Media, I, ran a few other businesses of my own. I've been a lifelong entrepreneur. Okay. And I really love the best part of what I did with every company and that I started was I loved the marketing, PR, attraction piece. And so, my friends were like, hey, can you help me get started with what I'm doing? I love what you're doing. And I'm like, absolutely, because I just genuinely loved it. And I certainly wasn't charging my friends or anything. I really just wanted to give them a start. But after a while, I realized, maybe this is what I should get paid to do since I love to do it. And I am having somewhat success with it. And just through natural word of mouth, it just kind of spread and they would bring in their friends. And that's just kind of how it organically got started.
Amazing. So you said you've been pretty much a lifelong entrepreneur. So does entrepreneurship run in your family? Are your parents entrepreneurial, or is this just something that you've just adapted because that's just who you are?
It's definitely, I'm definitely that kind of black sheep of the family, although that's a negative term. So
I don't think we can use that one.
My parents and my brother are very, they worked in finance and, they had very solid jobs and careers right out of college. And I just wanted to try everything. It was hard to keep me, with just one thing. Even there was was a time, I worked in Wall Street. I did that right out of college, and I realized real quick that I probably don't belong in a cubicle in the corporate world. I wanted to try so many things. I had multiple jobs at all times, and I liked it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then, once I got married and settled down, I decided that's when I started kind of doing my own businesses. I launched retail stores, websites, blog, everything I could. I wanted to try everything. And so, I worked for a music label, and I promoted singer and songwriters, and I just absolutely loved it. And I loved the way that it's so different every day. It's not the same thing every day. And I kind of need that variety.
Yeah. Wow. That's, did you ever have people telling you like, Molly, what the hell? Like, you're all over the map here. You want to do this. You want to do that. You're like, focus. Did you ever have any of that?
Sure. But, I think that people were more, kind of look at you go.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty awesome. And what's so interesting is people get very caught up on the fact that, oh, I look like I have no direction but I honestly think that's wonderful. I admire people who kind of throw the darts all over the board and see what lands. And people are sometimes afraid to do that just for that reason, that it makes them, or they feel it makes them look like they have no sole purpose or direction. And I think quite the opposite. I think if you're able to throw the darts kind of all over the board, I think that makes you a fascinating person. And there's so much you learn from all the different experiences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very true. Very true. Can you tell us a bit about Hillenbrand Media and what your role within the company is now?
Sure. So now I am, the CEO, and it's a small company. We just have about 5-6 people working with me in various capacities. Okay. And I have to say, in anything I've ever done, my team has made it possible. I'm smart enough to bring on people who are smarter and creative and more talented than I am. They make me look good. I'm telling you, all my success I owe to my teams. They're amazing, and they help me bring my vision to life.
Right.
And so, with Hillenbrand Media now, my role is to provide the content, right? To produce, which I absolutely love. And I have an amazing team of videographers, editors, content creators, people who just manage me, which is a full-time job. God bless them all.
Keep Molly on the level.
Yeah, exactly. But we all enjoy it. We're having a blast.
Now, when you started out, you were obviously doing a bit of, you were doing the filming, you were doing the editing and all that stuff. You typically now are hands off with that stuff. Is that right?
Yeah. So I kind of find the talent, the people, I'm kind of the attractor.
Right.
And, and I film the content, and I kind of lay it out of how I want it to look and all of that. Yeah. And then I have the amazing videographer and an amazing editor that, I've kind of outsourced, who knows my style, and we work together to kind of make the final cut.
Right.
And exactly.
Do you miss that hands-on type thing though sometimes?
Sure. Mostly because I'm a bit of a control freak. and so, they try to say, Molly, we got this, focus on X, Y, and Z. And, I can't help it, but want to be involved in every level, because it means so much to me. I truly, every single person I meet, I'm so passionate about, and I want to give them the best possible quality of whatever it is I'm providing for them. And so, that's just me being, a little of the OCD.
Just you being Molly.
Yes.
But your team knows who you are, and they support you, and they love you.
Yeah. And, my team has been with me, some of them for 15 years.
Right.
I mean, they've gone with me through various of my businesses, and know me very well. So there's a lot of trust there. And that's so important with any team that you work with, that there is tremendous trust and aligned vision as well.
For sure. Now, when you first started out though, I mean, you obviously started on your own. So how long into your journey did you start hiring people and outsourcing things?
For Hillenbrand Media, gosh, it took a while,
Yeah.
mostly because of financial, right? It's
Right.
in the beginning, of any business, there's a lot of money going out, right, of promotion
Yeah.
and stuff. And you try to hold on to every penny you can and try to
Mm-hmm.
do it all yourself. And there's obviously reasons why we do that financially, but I truly believe, as I said, that you only grow with your team. And
Right.
so I knew that I had to get to a point to bring on people pretty early. And the first person, I brought on was kind of my overall manager who has helped me kind of all along the way. I brought her back in
Yeah.
to really more for the vision to keep it, moving forward and make sure that we were on the path of moving forward. And then once we were able to bring a certain amount of income in and bring in, higher quality videographer and editor and all of that stuff, the rest kind of unfolded.
Right, right. Now, you're known for your PR skills. You've been called a powerhouse PR person. How long have you been involved in the PR world?
Let's see, my first kind of taste of the PR world was back in, oh my gosh, I'm going to give my age away. So I'm 42 now and proud of it. 42.
Absolutely. Why shouldn't
42
you?
years young. And so I started in PR back when I was working for a small record label in New York City, promoting the singer-songwriters. And I was, 23, 24. So almost 2 decades ago was when I really started to learn what it's like to market someone, the hustle of all the calls of trying to get them into places and selling them and their product and getting people to believe in them. Because that really what it is, and PR and marketing and all of it is you learning the person's passion,
Right.
you believing in it. There's no one that I bring on or that I work with who I don't 100% believe in whatever they're doing. And I can't, you can read my emotions on my face.
Yeah.
And so I have to believe in it so much. And I think people can read that. And so learning how to sell someone else's vision and how to market them appropriately and find the correct markets for them, takes some time and some finesse and some skill.
Yeah.
But, over the past 2 decades, I've been very lucky to build an incredible network of people that I've worked with, who I trust, who trust me. And so just naturally, over the past 2 decades, those connections and networks have grown and grown and grown. And that's just been, and I've learned so much, through my failures as well.
Right.
It hasn't always gone well and it hasn't always gone the way I've thought it has. But I take failures as not failures, as just lessons. And I've learned from each and every one of them to get to the point of where I am, today. It certainly didn't happen overnight. This is a 2-decade process.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And see, that's the thing is people think when they look at the trajectory, sometimes they think, oh, you went from here to here in no time. They don't know what goes on behind and all the years of work that led up to that and networking and all of that stuff, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I get it all the time. Like, oh, look how fast you just did this. You have no idea. This is 20 years of learning and failing and trying again and then trying again. And all of that time that I put into doing what seems effortless at this point is really 20 years of hard work.
And experience. Absolutely. And that's the thing I find funny with some people, like me being a photographer, and people say, well, you charge so much. And well, yeah, because think about all the years of practice I've put in, all the years of training I put in, all the money I've invested in my gear, in growing my abilities. And it's the same type of thing. Like people don't see what goes on and they just think, well, you just push a button, or with you just connect people. Like they don't see that 20 years of hard work, sweat, blood, and tears and experience, right? So they just think,
absolutely. And it's the most frustrating thing. And, I can't remember the quote, exactly, but you're not paying me for the hour, right? No. You're paying me for the 20 years of experience that got me to that 1 hour with you and everything that I'm going to do for you. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And you had mentioned about being passionate and believing in the people that you work with and promote. And I think that that's a big part of it too, because if you're not passionate or you don't believe in it, people are going to see that in your work. If you're passionate and you believe in the product that you're pushing or selling or marketing, it's going to come across in your work.
Absolutely. One of the things I say to people, and I made this mistake too, so I own it, is just saying yes to everything that came my way, right? It's like you're chasing the money, you're
Yeah.
chasing whatever. And that's the biggest mistake. Don't chase the money. Chase your passion, chase what feels right, chase what feels good, chase what makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just going after the money and saying yes to everything that comes your way, you're not going to work. It's just not. People are going to be able to see right through that, and that's a tough lesson for people who are just starting out as well.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to say. What would you say to people who are just starting out? Would you still say that? Don't chase the money. Don't take everything that comes your way when you're first starting out, even?
It's a tough balance
Mm-hmm.
of, and yes, my biggest thing is do not chase the money. Do not make that your priority. And everyone's like, oh, easy for you to say,
Yeah.
it's, but truly that's where I've made mistakes is
Mm-hmm.
when I didn't believe it. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but it's a payday. That's never worked for me. It really, truly has never worked. And yes, chase your passion, make sure that what you're doing, you enjoy and that people can see that, because that's how you're going to build your longstanding network and connections. You're going to build that loyalty with people. They know you're not going to bring anyone their way that you don't believe in.
Right.
You've proven that to them. And that matters. And that's how you build a bigger and wider network.
And when you do that, the money will come.
Absolutely. The money always follows when you stay true to your vision and your passion.
So what is it about this world that excites and inspires you the most, Molly?
The people in it.
Yeah.
The good people in it, I should say.
Yeah, because let's be honest, there's all types of people out there.
Let me get more specific there. I am a lover of people.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that every person I've met I love. But I am excited over people who are going for it, who are passionate, who haven't let their life's obstacles get in their way. I know a lot of people, everyone has had obstacles or reasons why they think they cannot do whatever their dream is.
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing people push through that. That excites me. It excites me when I see someone go through a hard time and persevere, push through, get through it, and not let it stop them. In fact, sometimes, and a lot of times, people use it as motivation to work even harder. And that is inspiring not only for me, but for anyone who follows them along their journey, because anytime you get through something and overcome something, you now pass the torch to everyone who's following you, and that light and that spark.
Well, it's almost like you're giving others permission to do it, right?
Absolutely. And permission to say, okay, I'm not going to let this hold me back.
That's right.
If this person can do it, so can I.
I think self-limiting beliefs are one of, if not the biggest problem that we have to overcome, or the biggest hurdle we have to overcome when it comes to pushing through and going after our dreams and trying to achieve our goals.
I couldn't agree more. I think that is everyone's biggest hang up is themselves and how they speak to themselves. It's not the other people, right? Because we all have naysayers. We all have people doubting us or saying, oh, you're crazy. Yeah. But really it's the voice that we use to speak to ourselves. Yeah. It took me a long time to get to the point where I wasn't my worst, critic. Yeah. And I wasn't self-sabotaging. Yeah. And once you have the freedom of allowing yourself to not be perfect, to make those mistakes, once you are able to acknowledge that and own that, the sky's the limit.
How did you finally get to that point, Molly? Was there like a breaking point for you where you're just like, enough of this self-limiting bullshit. I'm not doing this anymore. I have to smarten up and go within and talk to myself the right way. And because let's be honest, we also, in addition to the self-limiting beliefs, as you mentioned, there's all the external noise and naysayers and whatnot. We have to deal with that as well. But I think first and foremost is dealing with the self-limiting beliefs.
Mm-hmm. I think there's been many points across my life where I've had to to quiet that voice. And still to this day, I'm not saying it doesn't, pop up for sure. Going through a divorce, will make you stronger in the long run. It will be some of your worst days for sure. You doubt a lot, but surviving things that are meant to bring you down, really instills almost this organic high afterwards that you overcome it. The sky didn't fall. Your world didn't end. It's you're gonna be okay. You're still human. You're still whole.
Yeah.
And I think when people go through a life change like divorce, a loss of job, they got fired, whatever it is, for some reason we talk ourselves feeling less whole, right? We're not as whole as we used to be. That's a lie we tell ourselves. You're still whole. You're still on your journey. Your journey just went a different direction, but it's still going. And just because it's changed to a different direction doesn't mean it's the wrong direction.
Yeah, very true. We just have to, I think the word of 2020 has got to be pivot.
Right? Yes. If I had $1 for every time I've used that word pivot, this would have been my most successful year by far.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say is the toughest part of your job?
Also the people.
Yeah. Favorite and toughest.
Yes, it's the best and the toughest. And, that's the kind of career that I chose. So I deal with the good, with the bad. I tend to put myself around really strong personalities and strong personas. And, the entertainment industry can be a lot, PR and marketing can be a lot of very strong, domineering personalities. And I think there's a lot of people out there that doubt you,
right?
That make you doubt yourself, who question you. Sometimes you could be a good person trying to do everything for the good, and people still question that.
Yeah.
And learning to stay strong in your character is probably the toughest lesson sometimes. Things can be waved in front of you that look golden and fun and exciting. And learning to stay true to your character is a big one.
Yeah, for sure. What's your plan or short-term goal for Hillenbrand Media for 2021? Do you have anything in particular in mind that you want to accomplish for the year of 2021?
For 2021, I'm really trying to hone in on entrepreneurs, thought leaders, people with journeys and messages of overcoming. I'm really, really inspired, as I've been saying, by people who have, every year I've kind of gotten more narrow in my focus of what I want these segments and what I want Hillenbrand Media to feature. And authentically, to me and my voice and what I feel is where you reach the most people is by being vulnerable and by sharing not always the best part or your success, because so many people just want to highlight, look at my beautiful store, or look at my beautiful product, or look at me and my beautiful self. But really, and that's great for a 3 to 4 minute cute segment. But really what inspired me most after I filmed those segments was I would talk to the people, just sit down and talk with them as, the film crew was wrapping up and packing and all that. And I sat and spoke with them for a half hour, an hour, and they would go more in detail on their journey and their story and how they got to where they are. And I kept thinking to myself, this is what is interesting. This is what people want to hear about. Why are we not filming this conversation? Because this is what will touch and inspire people. And so after feeling this way, I'm like, that's what I'm going to focus on, is that journey and them sharing with us the journey of getting to where they are, not just where they are now. And so that's more of what I'm looking to film for 2021 is people who are willing, and not everyone is. And I understand it's tough to walk through that process. But really I'm looking for people who are willing to be open and candid with the hardships, not just the positive.
Love it. Yeah, I think that the real authenticity is what resonates more with people. It makes the people seem more down to earth. And hey, this person went through that. I've gone through something similar too. So why can't I do that?
Absolutely. And the more people that share that story, the less people feel alone in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I find I've only been self-employed for 3 years now, but I find that with entrepreneurship, not enough not enough people talk about the downside of entrepreneurship, because there is a downside. We have to be honest. There are struggles. This is like a fucking roller coaster ride for real.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't get talked about enough. It's only the successes that are celebrated and talked about. As you said.
And I'm guilty of that, more than anybody, as everybody is, because our social media is our highlight reel, right? How many times have we said that? And mine is no different. And people, commonly misconstrue that my life is what I choose to show through photos, and that is, anyone who knows me knows that's not my life at all.
Right.
I choose to, just because my personality is, an annoyingly optimistic one. And so
I don't think that can be annoying. I think that's a great attitude to have.
It's not me being fake. I truly choose to each day focus on the thing that was positive that happened that day, but that doesn't mean that there weren't 6 horrific things that happened that day, or upsetting, or that I didn't sit in tears, for 30 minutes over something, personal, or I just choose to end my day in gratitude. Yes. That is what I choose to celebrate and focus on. And that's a choice. It doesn't come easy. It is a choice that I have to make every day, that I'm going to choose to focus on the wins and not the losses.
Yeah. I just think they need to be talked about a little bit more. So because it's almost like entrepreneurship is romanticized too much, I think.
Absolutely. And that is why, I decided to launch this podcast, which is going to be launched on the 28th of this month, which I'm so excited about, because not only is it another way to market, my clients and everyone and that I'm personally inspired by, but it's a way to share my truth and my vulnerability through this podcast as well, because it's only fair that if I'm asking my guests and everyone to share their hardships and their journeys, it's only fair that I do the same. And I think people really, truly need to hear the downsides and where I struggle and where I struggled 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and today.
Yeah. I mean, that's not to say don't celebrate your successes. I think every little success should be celebrated along the way, 100%, absolutely. But I think the other side needs to be talked about a little bit more.
For sure.
So speaking of your podcast, it's called On Air with Molly Dare. Can you tell us a little bit about the podcast? You mentioned when it launches. What's the format? Is it going to be solo episodes, guests, interview style? Like, tell us a bit about it.
So yes, I'm so excited. So On Air with Molly Dare is, I've already recorded about 8 of the episodes. Okay. We're launching on the 28th with 3. And then every Monday after that, a new episode will come out. It's largely guest centered, and I'm featuring inspiring people and their journeys of overcoming, to really, in the hopes of inspiring, again, anyone who has a dream, that if it matters to you, it matters. And don't let anyone make you feel that it doesn't, or that it's silly, or that it's small, because I feel that every dream matters. There's no such thing as a small dream or a dream that's too big. And so it's largely guest centered. As I said, I have tried to do solo episodes myself. And let me tell you, I have such admiration to the podcasters out there who do the solo episodes, because that is so difficult. I am someone who feeds off of people and their emotions, their personalities. When I'm talking just by myself, it's awkward. It's impossible.
Isn't that so odd though, when you think about it? It's like you're in a room by yourself. No one's watching you. No one can see you. Yet we have such a hard time, and it feels so awkward doing it. It's bizarre.
And
you would think it would be the exact opposite.
Absolutely. And the company that I'm working with, that wants me to do a few, solo episodes, and there's certain topics that I could speak forever about that I would love to do solo episodes on. They said, just keep practicing and, record it on a Zoom so that you can talk to yourself. And like, that's even more awkward.
Yeah, no kidding. I couldn't imagine doing that.
So, they tell me it takes time and just keep doing it. And eventually it'll it'll be less awkward, but the jury's out. We'll see. If I'm passionate about a topic, I may throw some solo episodes in there for sure. But we'll see.
That's so funny. Now, having two daughters and being a single mom, it's got to be incredibly important to you to lead by example and instill certain values and empower your girls, of course, which you are by leading by example with all that you're doing. And you should be very proud. And I'm sure your daughters are incredibly proud. How do you balance being a single mother of two and a CEO of a company and now a podcast host?
Great question. And when I figure that out, I will let you know. I tell you what, I have learned that I can't always be 100% at everything and that that's okay. And that Molly at 50%, 75% is still okay. And that I need to let them know that imperfection is beautiful. And I need to own not only my successes and celebrate those, as we've said, but to also let them know when I've made mistakes.
Right.
And to be honest about it. And to, I'm very, very lucky that my girls and I have a very open relationship. They have no problem telling me, trust me, Mom, you need to, you need to put the phone down, or Mom, you need to put the laptop down. Let's go do this. And I love that they do that and that they have no problem telling me. And they know that if they say it, I will do that.
Right.
That they come first. They know that 100%, that no matter what's going on in my day, no matter who I'm speaking to, if they need me, I'm there. And that is an unspoken rule in our house, that if you need me, I will be there. I've flown home when they've needed me. I've left things. Everybody around me knows my kids come first.
Yeah.
But I think, I try to lead by example. I try to just in my life, my everyday life, show how important it is to be kind, to be gentle with yourself and with others. And again, I think it's important to apologize and to own up when you have shortcomings.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, let's be honest, when you're doing something that you love doing and you're at home and you're working, I know the saying is very cliche, but when you're doing something you love, it doesn't feel like work. So it's easy to get caught up in that because the hours just fly by. And you get so wrapped up in it.
Absolutely. And this year more than ever, right? Because everyone's working from home. It's very hard to separate work from home life and to put down the laptop and the computer because we don't know when our hours end anymore.
That's right.
It's, and what I do is 24/7. I don't have days off. I don't have, a certain hours where I can be reached. And my girls right now are both virtual. Right. And so we're all working from home during the day. And really, it's a lot of compromise. It's a lot of, again, us carving out time. And we literally carve out time every day where it's just us, phones down, no phones, no laptops. We sit and watch a movie. We just sit and talk. Sometimes we play board games. I mean, sometimes we just go for a car ride. Yeah. Truly. It's just togetherness. And the one great thing about 2020 is that it has reminded us, listen, we've all had a lot of togetherness at this point. For sure. But it has reminded us how important that is. And it feels good. I love that we've been forced to slow down. I love that I don't have to pack my bags every 2 weeks to head to another place, that I'm not in this constant state of stress. Where am I going next? Where am I going next? I'm here. And I'm, and we have this non-rushed time together. And I think that's really special. And I don't know if I want that to change. Absolutely. I mean, I know there's been a lot of horror and a lot of terrible things that have happened in 2020 up to this point. But we do have to take stock and realize that amidst all that shit and crap that's happened, we do have to find that silver lining and appreciate the time that we've been given. Because honestly, this is the first time, at least in our lifetimes, that we can say that the world has actually stopped. And we have been given this opportunity to take advantage of this time to spend with our loved ones and do the things that we always, because we're so goddamn busy and get caught up in life, I'm too busy to do that, or I'm too busy to start this project at home, or whatever the case may be.
now we have the time. And you're right. I hope that when this is all said and done, whenever that is, that when we do come out the other side of it, that we can still maintain and appreciate this time that we'd be given and make use of it and carve the time out if we need to, where we do spend the time with family. I just hope it doesn't stop.
I couldn't agree more. And, the one thing I did learn about myself, which I hope, again, I don't forget, was how much I needed to slow down and be present.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was a race to nowhere before this, right? It was, I'm a single mom. And so I take a lot of the roles, all the roles.
Yeah.
And it's, me racing one here and one there, and myself, trying to get myself, if I could divide myself into 3 people, it would be amazing. Unfortunately, I can't, And so it has forced me to recognize how important it is for myself to carve out that time to be present. And that is something I really am grateful for, that I wasn't doing well at.
Yeah.
And that I hope I always continue to do.
Well, I mean, not only for your girls, but for you too. Like, we all need that time for ourselves to just mentally slow down and relax and just take it easy too.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. It's so important. I just hope that most people, I have a feeling that a lot of people, things will just go back to the way they were, in terms of hustle and bustle and hurry up to nowhere, as you said. But I would hope. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
It's so interesting how people make hustle sexy, right?
Yeah.
It's like the more you show that you're hustling and working nonstop, the more, attractive that, like, I don't get that anymore. And I was guilty as that as well, of, working myself to the bone. And that's like a prize that people wear, like a badge of honor, that, like, I worked myself to death today, 20 hours. And I'm learning, and this has only been in the past few months, so trust me, I'm just as guilty of it. It's really not a badge of honor to work yourself, to the nth degree, where you're just walking around exhausted. Exhaustion should not be something that you brag about and are proud of. I love and covet my mornings. I have 2 times during the day, besides the times with my kids, that I just love. And that's the 30 minutes I give myself in the morning, where I have my coffee and I'm with my dogs outside on my patio, just quiet.
Yeah.
And then the other time that I take to myself is at sunset. Again, I'm on my back porch with my dogs and my kids, and we sit and watch the sunset. And I hope I never stop doing that, because it's those 30 minutes and those times where I can sit still and be present that just re-energizes me, reinvigorates me. It's important to take that time to just sit and be.
Well, you're just in the moment and you're enjoying beauty and nature around you. I think this hustle and bustle and all this craziness is a North American attitude, because I'm sure in a lot of places in Europe, they don't work that way. I mean, think about all the countries that have siestas and they close for an hour. You know what I mean?
Us crazy Americans. Yes. And it's, I tell you, I'm much more effective now that I give myself these 2 kind of moments to be present. We're all in a race to nowhere, is what I say, right?
Yes.
It's what we're forgetting is to enjoy the journey, to enjoy today, to enjoy the moment. It's because, believe me, a lot of times once you get to the place where you think you're going and you get there, no one's sitting there handing you a prize.
No.
For getting there. What you're supposed to do is enjoy the process of getting there.
That's right. 100%. So going back to speaking about empowerment and you empowering your girls, what does the word empowerment mean to you?
It means a lot of things to me. And it's, honestly, the definition has kind of changed for me at different times. But for me, empowerment is being unapologetically yourself, being okay with your failures, and being okay with the not great parts of you, and not letting it hold you back, and not letting other people's opinions change who you are and your character, and being so okay with who you are, faults and all. I think when you can truly accept yourself, all the good, bad, and ugly of who you are, you will be empowered.
I love it. What do you do to teach your girls about empowerment?
Um, Again, this year has been a big one in
Mm-hmm.
teaching them that, as I've made a lot of pivots and shifts in what I'm doing. And I think owning up to learning to be okay with admitting your mistakes and failures, learning the power in showing your flaws.
Yeah.
And that really is what makes you beautiful. I truly feel where people are most beautiful and shine the greatest is when they show their flaws
Mm-hmm.
and admit them.
Yeah.
It makes you human, and your flaws are how you build your character.
Yeah.
It's how you learn empathy for other people.
Mm-hmm.
And once you are able to open yourself to that, and to, people get so afraid of failure,
Yeah.
that it stops them from even trying.
Yes.
But, the more you have failed, the less scary it becomes.
That's right.
And, I tell my kids all the time, it's okay to fail. I'll be so proud of you that you tried.
Yes.
Just keep trying, because it's just like, it builds your armor up,
Yeah,
it really
that's
truly
right.
does. It builds your coat of armor. When I think of someone who's empowered, I see them in this like coat of armor, and that armor comes from all the battles you've won in your life. It doesn't come from the easy road. That's for sure.
Right. That's right. And I mean, as you said before we jumped on to start the interview today, failure shouldn't be seen as a bad thing. It is, my train just derailed there.
No, that's okay. No, it should never be seen as a bad thing. I'm so proud. I'm more proud of my friends and myself when I had tried something new. I could care less if it was successful or not. I really don't think it matters.
Right.
Like, kudos for you for trying it,
Yeah.
for doing something, for believing in yourself. That to me is inspiring. Success is not inspiring to me.
Right.
It's great, and
Yes.
that's the end product. But really, the doing and the trying, that is what inspires people.
That's right. You said failure is lessons learned. You learn.
Yes, that's right.
That's what you said. Sorry, the train derailed really quick there.
That's okay. Listen, it's 2020. We're lucky we can string words together.
Yes. Molly, what do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become so successful?
That's a great question. I think my ability to connect with people, to be authentic, to ask them questions, and truly I care.
Mm-hmm.
And I spend the time. It's not a job to me.
Right.
And I don't ever want to feel like what I'm doing is a job. And I think people can feel that. I think I've been able to take what I love and make it my career, but I don't look at it as a job. And my genuine interest in who you are and what you're about, I think comes across. And I think that's when people connect with me. Because I think people nowadays more than ever can spot bullshit. Yes. And I think we all have a pretty high radar for it at this point.
Yeah.
And I have little patience for it at, my age. So
yes. I think the bullshit detector gets better with age, right?
It does. Thank God. Right. If I could go back to Molly in her 20s, knowing what I know now, I would have saved her a lot of grief. But you know what? It all has brought me to this point. So, it's all good.
Now, you had mentioned about what you're doing, your career now. I mean, you're so passionate about it, and it's not a job. And I can remember, and I don't know if I'm wondering if you went through this or heard this from people too. I remember when I was talking about making the jump to entrepreneurship from the corporate world, and that I wanted to be a photographer. And I mean, I've had photography in my life for a long, long time. It's always been a passion of mine. And I can remember people telling me, oh, I don't know. I don't think you should do that, because when you turn your passion into your job or what you're doing or a business, people end up losing the passion, and they lose interest in what they're doing. Did you ever experience any of that from people chirping in your ear when you were talking about different business ventures and things like that?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
I still do today. I mean, always, all the time. But, I've learned that people are going to talk about you and judge you no matter what you do. So you just better do what you love anyway, because they're going to talk about you anyway. So, so give them something real good to talk about.
Prove to them.
but I think it's their own, and this is what I've learned, and this took me a long time to learn. It's their own fear speaking.
Mm-hmm.
When people, doubt you or are vocal about you shouldn't do that or that's crazy, that's them speaking. That is their own concerns. Maybe they couldn't be brave enough to do it.
Right.
It does not mean or show in any way your capacity of being able to do it. And that took me a long time to learn. And so now when people say that, I just think it reflects on them. I don't take it personally.
Yeah. What was a turning point in your life and how did that affect you, Molly?
I've had many turning points in my life. So I'm going to go back to, though, kind of one of my earliest. I'm going to go back to, because really it's what started, I would say, everything, is when I was 12 years old, I was diagnosed with Lyme's disease. And it was way back, 30 years ago, right? When Lyme's disease was just coming out. I had a horrific case of it. It took 3 years for them to get it under control. I couldn't move from my neck down. It ravaged my body, and I was on an IV. I had to go to school with an IV pole. I mean, the whole 9 yards. It was for my 7th, 8th, and 9th grade year. Believe me, I was not in the popular crowd, let's just say. I was the girl with the IV pole. I struggled. I was just battling to live a healthy life and feel good every day was a struggle for me to get through. I was at CHOP, the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. They could not get it under control. It went to my brain. I lost the ability to speak words because the words were in my head, in my mind, but I could not. There was a condition that happens sometimes with Lyme's disease if it's ravaged your body where the synapses kind of get distorted and the words are in your mind, but you can't speak them. I mean, it's the most frustrating thing. I literally had to relearn, and still to this day, all the effects of Lyme's disease affect me to this day. But during that time, and the whole reason why I'm bringing that up, I remember laying in this yellow chaise in my parents' house because during that time I just wanted to be near them. I was sick and I slept in their room at night in this little yellow chaise. I can remember it like it was yesterday. And I remember just sitting there and laying there at night and just praying, please get me through this. Please get me through this. I promise you, if I get through this, I will make the most of every day. I will make it worthwhile. I will be good. I literally would chant this, little 30-year-old Molly would chant this at night. I wanted so bad to get through this. I wanted to be able to run around with my friends. I wanted to be able to not be weird and be able to speak and not, all the things that it was affecting. And when you have the ability to move, to not move, and the ability to no longer speak anymore, right? All the words that are in your head. Let me tell you, you never take your voice for granted from that point on.
I'm sure.
And I was lucky enough to come through it. That's the whole nother story for another time. But I got through it. I recovered. I have effects to this day, but I don't even let it stop me. I don't even think about it. And I know the power of voice. I knew that what I promised in that little yellow chaise, that I would make the most of every single day. And I truly try. I don't always win. I don't always do it, but I truly wake up every day just thankful and with gratitude. And that's just how I choose to live my life.
That's amazing. So, I mean, it's horrible that you went through that. And especially during those years, grade 7, 8, and first year of high school. I mean, that had to be so hard. I mean, let's be honest, kids going into high school have a hard enough time just fitting in, but you having to carry around an IV pole and not. It
was, if you can only imagine how awkward those years are, no matter what, nobody feels like they fit in, all the hormones, right? It's just a brutal time in your life. Now, exactly. Imagine being the girl with the IV pole. But you know what? I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful because it taught me the most important lessons of my life. It taught me empathy. It taught me not to judge anybody. It taught me so much about humans and what it means to be a good human. I had people who didn't want to be around me. They were afraid that they would, I was contagious. I had one person say they were going to break me if they ran into me. And I know what it feels like to be ostracized. I know what it feels like to not be part of the popular group or whatever that was. I know how badly, it felt to just want to live. And so not that I wish it upon anybody, I'm grateful for it, because I don't think I would have those skills today if I didn't. And, my own daughters have gone through their own medical battles, and I use the story all the time to tell them, you will get through this. I don't wish it upon you, but you will get through this. And I'm telling you, it makes you a better human, and you will have such an amazing story to tell once you have overcome it. And once you've gotten through this, there's nothing you won't be able to overcome. So
incredibly inspiring. Wow. Just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It's funny. My doctor at the time, his name was Dr. Atkins, and he would sit, and, we were all trying to figure this out at the time and how to treat it. And he would sit with me and say, Molly, I promise you, I'll get you through this. We're going to get you, I promise you, we'll have a dance at your wedding. You're going to be amazing. It's going to be fine. And, 10 years later, when I got married, I invited him to my wedding, and we did our dance and everything.
Awesome.
And it was that was another great moment.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Incredible. You are an inspiration, Molly. Wow.
Oh,
and such an amazing role model for your daughters. I think that's incredible.
Oh, I appreciate it. And I truly believe that everyone, is a role model, and everyone has, the capacity to be amazing.
I love it. What would you say is one of the best pieces of advice you've ever received?
That's a good one. I receive a lot of great advice. And again, I guess the greatest piece of advice is to not listen to the naysayers and to not let anyone ever make you feel small. Yeah. Because sometimes when you share your dreams with people, as we discussed earlier, they belittle them, or they're like, that's silly. I don't think I've ever said that to anybody. I hope that the one thing people take away is to never chastise someone for their dream, or their vision. You can help them, fine tune it for sure. Yeah. And tell them that it's possible, and help them get steps to make it possible. But don't let anyone, tell you that your vision is silly or small, or that your dream doesn't matter, because if it matters to you, it matters. And that really has guided me, kind of along the way.
Incredible advice. I love it. What makes you feel inspired or like your best self?
I feel like my best self when I'm with my kids. I, with everything that I do, I really do feel my happiest and most joyous with them. Again, going back to being a single mom, it's been the three of us, and not that their dad isn't involved. And I don't want to say that, because he's involved too, but, right. For me and our little family and our little home, it's the three of us, and it's been that way, for 10 years. Yeah. And so really, they bring me so much joy. Not that I wish divorce on anybody, but the one benefit of being a single mom is you get their sole attention, the whole time, and you become very close early on, because it becomes, for us, it's kind of like we're the three amigos, right? Yeah. We've got each other's back, and they are incredibly protective of me, and I'm very obviously protective of them. And, they have watched my journey and what I've gone through, and I just adore them. And they truly just give me joy and happiness, and take everything else away, take, all that I do and everything. I would still have tremendous happiness and joy being just their mom.
Amazing. What's something people seem to misunderstand about you?
I think people think that my life is what I put on Instagram and that it is, this fun, glamorous, exciting life. And not that I don't have those moments. Those are true. That is, those are my moments, but that it comes with a lot of heartache and a lot of hard work, a lot of disappointment, a lot of things that didn't work. I am my harshest critic. I'm very hard on myself. And, as many positive posts as you see, just know that there's probably 5 other things that I could have shared that day that I didn't, and again, I hope with the podcast and me using that avenue, that I will be able to share, those more vulnerable sides of myself, because I do want to share those. It's tough for me to peel back those onion layers, because I'm so used to being putting on a strong face for my kids and everyone else. And that's kind of my job.
Yeah.
But I do, think that is important. And I do hope to share that side of me, because I do think it's kind of misconstrued.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. What advice would you give someone wanting to pursue a career similar to yours?
Network, connect, meet people. I think there's so much to be said for networking, for saying yes to people, to meeting people. Just really put yourself out there. Connection and people are everything. You can, have the best logo, the best, whatever. But if people don't get to know you and trust you and trust your character, mm-hmm. it doesn't truly matter. And you can have, you can hire companies to promote you and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But really let people see you. Be the front and center of your business and of what you're doing, because people want to hear your passion and your journey. So put yourself front and center. Let people get to know you. Let them see your passion, because it becomes contagious when people see someone who's passionate. You release something in them too. They want to follow your journey. So, my biggest advice is, and I know this is hard for a lot of people. It certainly was hard for me starting out. Is putting yourself in front of the camera and getting comfortable with doing that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How do you define success, Molly? What does that word mean to you?
Success to me is doing what you love, surrounded by people that you love. And that seems simple, but it's not always the case. And it's not always easy to get both.
Right.
When you're doing something you love and you're surrounding yourself with an amazing team that you love and trust, it's incredible how that feels, because I also know what it feels like to not have that. Mm-hmm. And to surround yourself with people who aren't there for good, and not, a positive part. And it's very hard to work through that. Mm-hmm. And to see that, I also know what it's like to do something you don't love.
Yeah.
And how hard that is to just get up every day. And to me, I wanted to live a life I was proud of, doing what I love, surrounded by people I love. To me, that's success. Beautiful.
How would you like to be remembered?
As a mom who gave it her best shot. I really truly want to be remembered for my kids. Mm-hmm. I think our duty as parents, adults, is to raise the next generation. Yeah. It's not really about me. Yeah. It's about who I'm bringing into this world to continue the world, the legacy, and make it a positive world, and to be a positive impact on the world and the people around them. And that's how I'd want to be remembered, is through my girls.
Okay. What do you think the most common reason for people failing or giving up is?
Their own self-doubt.
Yeah.
Their own negative talk, imposter syndrome. People say a lot. That's kind of a buzzword, these past few years is even people that we look at as, role models and idols and success. They have imposter syndrome. They feel sometimes like, how did I get here? Do I belong here? Are people going to find out that I'm not this person that they think they are? I think we all have self-doubt. And I think that is our biggest thing that we let get in our way.
What is your personal motto?
Keep going, one foot in front of the other.
Pretty simple, but it's so very hard simple. For people to do,
It really is. When it comes down to it, it's so simple. It's just keep going forward. Don't stop. Don't look back. Keep going forward, one foot in front of the other. And it doesn't matter how big the step is, as long as it's in front of the other.
What is that? There's a saying that says, the windshield of your car is bigger than the rear view mirror for a reason.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
What gives you the motivation to keep going?
My girls, 100%. I can speak to them and I can say all the words and all the positive sayings, of like, keep going, you're amazing, and do this and do that. But really just leading by example. I think is important to me, and they literally are my biggest cheerleaders. They also will tell me if I'm doing something wrong, and I'm inspired to make as good a life as I can for them, and a happy life. To me, having successful kids is having happy kids. I don't
For
care
sure.
what their occupation is.
Yeah.
I don't care as long as they're doing something good and not something bad, obviously. I care that they're happy with themselves and how they live their life.
Absolutely. If you could set up a billboard anywhere, where would you put it and what would it say?
I would put billboards everywhere. I'd say, again, it's simple. Keep going. Keep going. I've had too many friends who have been lost in the process of, again, it's their failures, the divorce or getting fired, and they get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And they live in this stuck and they can't get out. And I just want to, in big flashing lights, just say, keep going. There's so much ahead. Remain open to opportunity. Keep going.
I love it. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of a rapid fire thing here. 1 or 2 word answers for a few questions, okay?
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe yourself in 1 word?
Passionate.
Money or fame?
That's a tough one. If I have to choose between the two, I'd say fame, because with fame, you get a larger audience to share your message.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird, definitely not a night owl.
If I had an extra hour a day, I would.
I would like to say I wouldn't fill it up, but I probably would. I would like to say I would choose sleep, but I'd probably fill it up.
Entrepreneur life is?
A roller coaster, but worth the ride.
My favorite way to unwind is?
Road trips.
Mom life is?
An adventure, but worthwhile.
The last book or podcast I listened to or read was?
Scarred by Sarah Edmondson.
Okay. All right. That's the end of the rapid fire section. Molly, if you came with a warning label, what would yours say?
She doesn't take no for an answer.
I love that tenacity. It's beautiful. What is your favorite entrepreneurial book, or one of your favorites?
Oh, that's a good one. One that I have read recently is The Buddha and the Badass by Vishen Lakhiani of Mind Valley.
Okay. If you had a theme song that played every time you walked into a room, what song would that be?
Oh, I love this song, Unstoppable by Sia.
Okay. If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
You're worthy.
And lastly, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like?
Ooh, that's a tough one, but I would say that you are so capable, and to not ever let anyone make you feel that you are not capable of living the life of your wildest dreams. Go out there, do it, and whatever that means to you, if it's important to you, it's important, and go after it.
I love it. Beautiful words to end the interview. Molly, thank you so very much for taking the time to be here today and share your incredible journey. You are honestly such an incredible inspiration. You are an incredibly inspiring woman. You're a beautiful soul. It's been my absolute pleasure having you here and chatting with you today and learning about your journey and your insights. And I just want to say I appreciate you and thank you so much for taking the time to be part of the Empowerography community and be a guest here today. It's been absolutely inspiring and amazing talking to you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And it's been so inspiring. Even I was looking at your other guests and listening to their podcasts, and some of them I know personally, and there's so many amazing people that you feature. And I just thank you for sharing their beautiful stories as well.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I love what I do. So I mean, the more women we get involved with community, the better it is for everybody. So I thank and appreciate every single one of you.
Thank
Once
you so
again,
much.
My name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography podcast. Today, my guest has been Molly Dare Hillenbrand. She is the founder and CEO of Hillenbrand Media based in sunny Florida. Thank you again, Molly. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca, and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.